and welcome back to my channel. If you are a parent gearing up for swim lessons or you're already deep in the pool, then this video is for you. Today we're diving into some do's and don'ts for parents for swim lessons. But first, introductions. Hello, my name is Valerie. I blog at babywisemom.com and I have been blogging there since the year 2007. I absolutely love helping parents love parenthood. I have 4 children of my own and they currently range in age from 12 to 19 years old. First, let's start with some do's. The first do is to stay positive. Swimming can be very intimidating for young children, very understandably, but this is especially true if they're not super comfortable and familiar with the water. If you have a calm, encouraging attitude, that will go a long way to help your child to feel more calm and confident. You also want to trust the instructor. It's really tempting to rush in if your child is upset, but you need to trust that instructor. And a lot of times, if you step in, it really can interfere with the whole process of swim lessons. You want to let the instructor build that trust with your child and to establish that they are an authority in your child's life. Now, if you're really concerned, I think a lot of parents step in because they're like, oh, I don't want to force this poor instructor to deal with my child's temper tantrum while I'm sitting right here. Totally understandable that parents step in. So it's a good idea to talk to the instructor beforehand. If my child starts having a tantrum, what do you want me to do? And let the instructor set the guideline. And if they say, oh, if your child's a tantrum, come grab them out of the pool until they calm down, then do that. If they say, pretend like you're not here, do that. So sometimes it's a good idea to be out of your child's eyesight. So talk to the instructor about that. Also, if your child's having a really hard time, you might find somewhere else in the swimming pool area or in the building to be, and the instructor can know where you are in case they need you, but you're not where your child can see you. And a lot of times that can fix major behavior problems. If you are staying by the pool, just make sure you're not loud distraction. Don't be trying to talk to your child. Don't have a really loud phone conversation while your child is in the pool. Be there, but don't draw attention to yourself. Don't have your child be like, oh, there's my mom. Now for a couple of don'ts. One, don't coach from the sideline. Again, let your instructor be in charge. If you're instructing and coaching, then you're undercutting the instructor's authority. And then a good thing is to not compare your child to other children and their progression. Everyone's going to learn at their own pace. And if you start to feel competitive or stressed out about your child's progress or what you view as a lack thereof, then it can put a lot of pressure and anxiety in your child. Those are just some general do's and don'ts, but let's dive into some different ideas that can help you accomplish those and help make swimming lessons better overall. One tip is to help your child get used to the water. Ideally, you do this before they ever even start swim lessons. So go to the pool as a family. Understand that a bathtub is not the same thing as a swimming pool. So your child might feel perfectly comfortable taking a nice bath, but feel really intimidated by a pool. And, if you think about it logically, a pool is much larger than a bathtub and the water is much deeper and there are people all around in a pool where there is usually just one person in the tub. Don't just think if they're comfortable with the bathtub that they'll then be comfortable in a pool. So it's a good idea to go swimming as a family and spend time getting used to the water. And even better, if you can go and swim at the pool where your child will take swim lessons, it'll help them just feel familiar and comfortable there. Another good tip, ideally, is to start swim lessons young. You really ideally want to start before the age of 4. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends starting around age 1. So as young as 1, start thinking about it and really put in the effort to start before age 4. It's much easier for a swim teacher to work with a scared 2 or 3-year-old than a scared 5 to 7-year-old. I also highly recommend that you put in the work to find a really good instructor, a really good program. The first time we ever did swimming lessons, we went just kind of where most people seem to go. Not all swim lesson programs are equal. And even if they all follow like the same kind of guidelines and program, that doesn't mean that the instruction will be equal and that the progress of children there will be equal. So the first program we used, like, it was fun and it was fine for a first time ever, but my children wouldn't have progressed much if we had stayed with that program. So after that experience, I looked and did more research and chose a program I thought would do well, and it was good, and we ended up picking a private swim teacher that we found through that program, and she taught my children for years and years and years and years and years. Another tip is to utilize the ask and tell strategy for parenting. Now that is when, before you head to the event, that you explain to your child what you are doing, what the expectations will be, what is okay, what isn't okay, and then have them repeat to you. So if you say, okay, we're going to go do swim lessons, and ideally you talk to them about this in days leading up. So it's not like, surprise, today we're having swim lessons, but like, oh, in a few weeks, and maybe on the calendar you show on this day, you're going to start swimming lessons, and this is what will happen. Like, you will get in the pool and your teacher will ask you to blow bubbles in the water. You might feel scared, but you still need to do what your teacher tells you, and your teacher will make sure you're safe, and you're not allowed to tell your teacher no. You lay some ground rules, and like, I will be there, but I'm going to be on the side, and I'm not going to be instructing you. I'm going to let your teacher be in charge of you, and things like that. And then you say, like, do we tell our teacher no? And you let your child answer, like, no, we don't tell our teacher no. So you instruct, you teach, you remind, you ask them to make sure they understand, and then everyone's going in on the same level of expectations. Like I said, you really do have to be patient, and you might start out and your child is not scared in the least bit. Like, I have 4 children. They've all had different journeys through swimming lessons, but all of them had a period where they were really, really scared. Some were scared like immediately. Some went along for a year and then suddenly decided they were terrified. So you never know when that will come, but it probably will. So just be patient through it and just know, like, that is a normal part of learning to swim. And with that, have the proper expectations. Like, understand what you can realistically expect from what you are giving to it. So if you do swimming lessons one time for a 2-week period once a year, like, your child will make some progress, but they're not going to be like swim team ready. If you want to see real progress, you really have to do at least 2 to 3 swim sessions in like a summer period. Some people take swimming lessons year round. Like, if you either live somewhere where the weather is nice enough for that outside, or if you have a program that is indoors, then you can do swimming lessons year round and you can space that out. We usually did swimming lessons all year. And again, we had a private teacher for most of the time. And so usually in the summer, we would do swimming lessons once a week with her. And so like every week we had our swimming lessons, which was fun. And then during the school year, when things were busier, like we were busier, the kids had other activities going on, we would move to every other week. And so we were keeping up on those skills. But if you are more casual about it, just know, if you really want real progress, plan on at least 2 sessions, ideally 3. And again, keep your child comfortable in the water. So go swimming at times other than during swimming lessons. Like, have time that is just for fun time in the pool. So like, when we would go to the pool for our private lessons, then this was a nice thing about private lessons is it was during open swim time at that pool. And so they would do their lesson and then they could play in the water after that. And so they had lots of water time. If you're doing a group swim lesson, usually you're going to have another group swim session right after yours. And so you have your swim lesson and then you leave. So if that's the case, then find time as a family to go back to the pool and spend time swimming just for fun. Another tip is to set some goals with your child. So we made a fun little sticker chart where they could put a sticker on every time they passed off a skill. And every time somebody passed off a skill, we all went and got either ice cream or like a snow cone. And so it was just a really fun way for all of us to like celebrate, like, yay, you've made progress. And then also help motivate the children to like, I really want to pass off my freestyle today because I really want some ice cream today. Anytime anyone passed off anything, we all got the treat, which helped, especially as you get further along, you don't pass off skills as often. And so it was nice because then usually there was like somebody passing something off where we could celebrate. It was just a fun, like, let's go celebrate that accomplishment you just made. And so when they were younger, they could pass off things faster. And then, the sticker chart can be nice so you're not like every day going out for treats. Like if you have swim lessons every day, you're not like every day we're going out for treats. But, so just find some ways to help celebrate and incentivize your kids to like work hard and get over those fears. Because it's like, okay, I'm feeling really nervous about doing a flip turn, but I also really like snow cones. So I'm going to push through and face this fear because I want to be able to accomplish that snow cone. So overall, find a good program and talk to other people, crowdsource. Find people around you. And in our modern day with social media, it's so easy to go on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere else and say, hey, people who live around here, like, where have you loved doing swim lessons? Or do you know of a good private swim teacher? Find either a program or an instructor that you really like and that has shown that kids accomplish what you were hoping to accomplish with the pool. Maybe all you want is that your child feels comfortable in the pool. Maybe you want your 1-year-old to be able to, like, if they fell in the pool, they would know exactly what to do to be able to stay safe. Everyone has different goals, and so find what works for what your end goals are. Help your child feel comfortable in the pool. Make sure that they understand your rules and expectations during swimming lessons, and make sure you are in communication with the teacher so that you know what they want you to do and what they don't want you to do. When we started off swimming lessons, my main goal was just that my children would feel comfortable in the water and be able to safely participate in any kind of water activity they wanted to do. And in the end, my oldest child went on and did swim team and had a great time. So you may find that your initial goals grow into something more, but all of my children have passed off their skills and feel very comfortable in the water. And there's no hesitation for them. If there's a water activity, they're not like nervous. Water for them is just like being on land. So it's a great life skill. It's a great way to open up a world of activities. We don't live near the ocean, but we do live around a lot of lakes and reservoirs. And we love to travel and participate in various things like surfing or all of those kind of fun things out when you're traveling. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will answer. And if you have any of your own tips that you think would help other parents, please feel free to also drop those. And thanks for watching and have a great day. If you like this video, be sure to like it. That will help other parents be able to see it, and subscribe so that you will see more future parenting content.